Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for another special episode of TEPSA Presents. We are bringing you another group of our masterclass presenters today and kind of showing you what you will get when you sign up for the summer conference this summer and then sign up for one of our TEPSA master classes. So obviously, today we wanted to bring you the fantastic LaNesha and Naomi, who will be leading their very first masterclass at TEPSA, and we are so thrilled to have them with us. And so, LaNesha, Naomi, I'm going to let you introduce yourself before we jump into your masterclass real quick. So, LaNesha, tell everybody kind of who you are.
Yeah, sure. Hi. So LaNesha Tabb, I've been an educator for 15 years. All of those years have been in the primary grades. I'm currently teaching virtual kindergarten, and that has been an experience. And I'm an author. I've written a book with Naomi O'Brien here, which we'll get into in a little bit. And I am a wife and a mom.
Awesome. Naomi, introduce yourself.
Naomi O'Brien. I'm located in Orlando, Florida right now, but I'm about to move out to California, so one coast to the other. I've been teaching for over 10 years and also in elementary, mostly in the younger primary grades, but I've done K through 5. I wrote a book with LaNesha Tabb as well called Unpack Your Impact, wife and a mom as well, and just really passionate about advocating for social justice and racial justice issues and trying to teach parents and educators a different way to do things than like what they've traditionally been doing. Like that's just a really big passion of mine. And then also scaling things down for kids so that kids can access lessons and materials like that as well.
Well, us over here at TEPSA, we are thrilled to have y'all joining our summer conference this year. And we're sad it's not in person, but we know for the first time ever, people can sign up for multiple master classes. And so you're going to be leading an hour-and-a-half masterclass for our people called Unpack Your Impact, which is based off of your amazing book. I love your book and recommend it to everyone. I don't care what your role is in education. It's fantastic. But if you were to kind of tell people what they can expect when they come to your masterclass, what would you tell them?
Do you want me to take that?
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Me too.
Go ahead.
I think you would want them to know that they would walk away with just rethinking the way that they've been doing things. That's like one of the number one things that people tell us after they've used our lessons or even after they've read our book or just kind of seen some of the work we're doing, that it just transformed their teaching or it even renewed their passion for teaching. Like they were just trucking along and they realized, wow, I could be doing so much more. There was another level I could have added to it and it feels more meaningful now. That's how I felt when we started doing this work. And I know that's the feeling that a lot of teachers tell us too, which I'm so happy about because that was our goal, that like, we're not here to tell you that everything you're doing is wrong and that we've never done it that way, because we used to do things a certain way. And we're just so happy about the way that we're doing things now, the impact that it has on kids. And it's like once, like now that we're teaching this way, we can't ever go back to how we were teaching before.
Totally. LaNesha, what do you say? What are you going to talk about?
I mean, I think we are mostly going to share our story. I mean, the tagline in our book says how two primary educators ditch problematic lessons, built a culture-centered curriculum. Really surprised I remember that. Go me. And so I think we'll tell our story, sort of how we were going along. And like Naomi said, we were just sort of looking at the state of things around us and, you know, on the news and just in the world in general. And it just was not looking good. And we had this realization that like social studies education really just, it's been lacking for a lot of people. We started doing a little like soft research, like asking teachers, like, what is social studies like at your school? And most of them were like, social studies, like, what is that? You know, or if they did have it, it was some generic scripted program that they never got to. And so when we started putting out lessons that were so important and so critical, like real history and things like economics and geography, but we started doing it in kindergarten and first grade, it really shook up everything because it's really how we live. Like social studies is literally what we live every day. The economics, you know, as soon as you turn on the news, every single thing, the pandemic, like how many things had to do with that are like social studies strands, right? Like geography, where is it coming? You know, and so just so many things. And so I think people that come to our session will get that. And then we're really excited about this because we typically are speaking teacher to teacher. we're very excited to have an audience of administrators because I think so many teachers hear our lesson and our passion, and then they attempt something, but they get scared because they feel like they're doing it on their own, or they don't know if they're going to have the support of their administration. So this is very exciting to us to sort of start at the top and maybe get some administrators fired up, and maybe that will trickle down to their staff.
Well, I gotta say that is why I am beyond excited about this session at a conference like TEPSA, is because I think the leaders are the ones who need to hear your message even more than teachers do. Because but there's so many leaders who we haven't been in the classroom for a couple of years, or we're trying to change. We don't know where to start or what conversations to have. And I think this session is like the ultimate go-to, where you can come back with some content knowledge as well as some ways to encourage and push your teachers and support them as their own journeys. And so it's going to be great. So as I said, there are 7 masterclasses for people to choose from. Now, they can choose multiple ones this year, but if they can only pick one, Naomi, what is your reason why they should pick yours?
Because it's just really going to transform their schools. It's going to change their teachers. It's going to inspire their teachers. It's going to impact children, which will in turn, like, it sounds so cheesy and cliche, but they really will like grow up and change the world when they make these changes. Like, we fully believe that.
They totally will, and I love that. So, LaNesha, I got to ask you too, what is your reason why they should sign up for y'all's?
I mean, first of all, we are hilarious and super fun, and we just have something, like, I think Naomi hit it earlier, like, I have never received the kind of feedback, because I basically took all of this content, and between Naomi and I'm usually the public speaker for us. Like, we work together. She's not like loving the whole like presenting, conference like that. Typically me. So I've been on the road, if you will, with this message for about 2.5, maybe 3 years now. And the feedback I get from day one, I mean, people who were ready to retire from teaching because they were burnt out, went to the session, and all of a sudden they were like, I'm going back in the classroom. I have a renewed purpose. I can think about things differently. Just, people in tears after the end of our sessions. And so I think that, it's revolutionary. I mean, not to say that in a, like tooting our own horn kind of way, but it really does, especially because so much attention is paid to intermediate grades and teachers of those grades. Everyone, I think, sort of takes primary, and it's sort of like, oh, they're so cute. They're down there like playing with their blocks, and no, those kids can have big thoughts. We always say little kids can do big things. They can think big thoughts. They can have big ideas, and they can do something about them. And I think that's where we're missing the mark, is no one's paying attention to primary. So that's where Naomi and I came in. So,
well, your book moved me, and I gotta say, growing up our future world changers, needing some humor and watching you two together, and just covering all this great stuff that can truly change lives, I think is a great reason to sign up for this masterclass. So anybody watching, June 22nd is when you can catch these two live on their masterclass. And if you can't make it live, that's okay. When you sign up, you'll get their recording for the remainder of the conference. So we hope you join us this summer at our TEPSA Summer Conference, and join a masterclass with LaNesha and Naomi on Unpack Your Impact.